Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Gallant, and I want to welcome you to another Cape Conversations. I am excited to be in the village of Forestdale, just down the street from the village of downtown Sandwich. We are going to have a great show today. Going to be talking to a poet, a storyteller, a spoken word person, an actress, an artist. My gosh, this woman does everything. So come along. Let's have another Cape Conversations. Hi, everybody. I am sitting in the cute, snug little cottage, the adorable little cottage of Christine Ernst. And she is the fat ass cancer bitch, if you didn't know that. Although she doesn't really have a fat ass, but we'll go there later.
Oh, I do.
Anyway, I am sitting here, Christine. Oh, sweetie, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you, Melinda.
So tell me, you've got all these new things going. You've been a person who did spoken word for a long time, but now you're doing other stuff.
I am doing a weekly video podcast that I've been threatening to do for, at least a decade.
Threatening people personally? Or?
Well, just like, people come to see my shows. I perform as the Fat Ass Cancer Bitch every year. A lot of folks can't get to see the show. I'm like, right. Do you have it online? Do you film it?
Yeah.
And, I'll try to get it filmed, or, I'll record it and then I'll send it to you. And I never did. And then meanwhile, my body of work got bigger and bigger. I teach a weekly writing class online, and I always write for that as well. So I have probably 1,000.
The class that I mean to get to.
Yes.
That one.
I email you every week, Melinda.
I know you do, and I love it. And I said to Joe, she emails me every week, and Joe says to me, Joe, my husband, he says, well, why don't you do it? And I go, I'm scared.
It's not how I reassured you. It's a gym. It's a gym. It's just for practice, because nobody writes a great novel. Yeah. It doesn't fall out of your head onto the page. Yeah. You have to practice and make your muscles limber, and it's so much fun, and you will laugh.
All right.
You might cry a little because it gets personal and real very quickly. Yeah. But I've been doing it for 14, 15 years.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
So every damn Saturday is our motto. So,
right.
So I do that anyways. I have a huge body of work. Probably have 1,500 short stories or poems or essays that I can read. It's neat to explore the archive and pull out pieces that I want to share. So
do they stay true? I mean, after so many years?
Not all of them. I mean, there are a lot
that get dated.
Well, a lot were political. So I can't talk about the blue dress now. It's not going to make any sense anymore. So
no, and some of those people weren't even born yet.
Some of my audience, when I have to explain stuff, at this point, early on, I was writing about having a baby. Julia's 14 now. Yeah. Or when Marnie was a little kid. Yeah. She's almost 28. Or being married. We've been together for 16 years. So there's stuff. But it's always a pleasure though to find something that God, I wrote this 15 years ago, and it's still hot. It still works. Yeah. Sometimes you go into the archive like, ooh, I'm so afraid what I'm going to find. Yeah. But I'm happy to report that most of it stands up.
Well, that's great. So you used to work at Katuitt, and you're gone from there now, so you're kind of doing your own thing, entrepreneurialism.
Yeah, kinda. I was at Katuitt Center for the Arts. I was involved in some deep capacity for almost 20 years.
Oh my gosh, longer than me. I was there for 14. Whoa. 14 years. Gosh. Yeah.
And we live to tell the tale.
No, it's a wonderful organization.
It is.
Doing
my husband
great
still
things.
works there.
That's great.
But not having to come up with one's own mission is really interesting, because what I'm doing now is everything that I said, when I retire, when I have the free time, I'll smash that into this weekend, or maybe I'll carve some out of my vacation. And now it's like, I have all this time. And so I'm writing 3 books. I'm recording a fun weekly video podcast every Sunday here at this desk. I am hammering jewelry. I've been, as a hobby, I've had a business for 15, 20 years. It's called Spoon and Hammer, where I take old silverware and hammer.
I don't have mine on today.
Hammer the hell out of it.
Which is very cathartic.
It is. I would say every woman should own an anvil and a set of good hammers. And you're
For
all
various
welcome,
reasons.
You're all welcome to come to my studio to hammer the heck out of a piece of metal. It's very, very healing and very rewarding. And then I stamp stuff onto it. This one says bloom, which is appropriate for me right now. I joke that I hammer in rage and I stamp in love.
Well, I have 3 of them. And the first one I got from you says truth.
I remember hammering that.
Yeah, because that's the big deal to me. So many people just don't tell the truth. Or they don't want to hear the truth.
Oh, they don't want to hear the truth. I know. You can't handle the truth.
And you know what? That's really true.
It is.
That's really true.
Do you wear it like a Wonder Woman cup?
Truth. Yes. Truth. And that's what I do. I hold up my arm like this. I hold it up to anybody, you know. So I'm in the grocery store. Somebody cuts me off. But you are really becoming an inspiration to women who want to do something else.
Oh, that's awesome. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, why aren't you?
Well, I was so passionate for the mission at Caduet Center for the Arts for so long. I helped to write it. You and I both helped to write it.
I know. Well, I was in the same meeting.
So now trying to come up with my own personal mission, which is part do no harm, part let me be an instrument of peace, part let me comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. So that's how I try to approach the work that I'm doing now. So I'm writing a lot. I'm speaking more than I normally. Well, I always speak a lot, but having like a weekly thing is sort of, it's a neat anchor to the week, to start the week and to choose the piece. And I choose it based on maybe what's happening to me personally or what's happening in the world. The piece I did last week was about violence.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I have a whole body of work about gun violence, but it's nice for the work to maybe find a new audience.
Well, you did a wonderful piece about Linnell Grundeman.
Oh, Linnell,
I know.
my beautiful friend. Yes.
I know. She was all our friends. She really was.
I talked to her right before Christmas, and I remember just being so struck by the plans she had for 23, the play that we were going to produce in 23. She was as vivid and active and intense as she had ever been. Yeah. So it was quite a shock.
Yeah,
it was. Hear that she had died.
It was. Mm-hmm. It seems like all the good ones are going. That's the scary part. A lot of them are.
It's got a lot of good ones coming up. Still yet to meet, and I think we're becoming good ones.
Is that it?
That's exciting.
Well, I don't know. I'm getting a little long in the tooth.
No, it's exciting to be aging. I'll be 57 this year.
Oh, you old thing.
Well, I don't know. I had cancer. I had cancer 22 years ago.
I know you did. I can't believe that.
So
I cannot believe that.
So to be able to say every
that
year,
you were here.
20 years ago, 21 years ago, 22 years ago.
That's wonderful.
When I just wanted to see Marnie graduate from high school.
I know.
And now I need to see Julia graduate from grad school.
Yeah, there you go. And you got to see Marnie get married and
I got to see Marnie get married. She's in grad school again.
Where's she going to grad school?
She's at Harvard at Divinity School.
Wow.
Yep.
Cool.
And Julia's going to be a freshman in high school.
You know, my daughter Tess teaches there once in a while.
Tess.
Yes. Yeah.
Tess.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So
Tess.
we're very fortunate to have such good daughters.
We didn't F it up.
No.
For so easily.
Yes. Well, I am a mother, so everything is my fault. I mean, trust me, some things never change.
Talk to Julia. She's mortified by everything I say.
Right. You know, how much more can you embarrass me? You know?
I can't. I own a hot dog suit. I can embarrass you a lot more.
You outdo me then. You outdo me then.
She plays basketball, and she only allows one of us to attend her games. So there's me and Michael, Marnie, and her wife Milena, and only one of us can go. So I keep threatening that when it's my turn to go, I'm going to show up in my hot dog suit. Because when you own a hot dog suit, you tend to want to wear it. Yeah.
Sure, of course you do. Just even taking a walk.
Yeah, it would totally psych out the other team. Yes. What's that hot dog doing here?
Wait a minute, is it an Oscar Mayer or?
It's a vegan.
Vegan
tofu hot dog because you should never ever eat a hot dog.
No, well, it has chicken lips in it.
So. It has. You can't even.
That's true.
I did a deep dive on that because I did wear the hot dog suit for one of my shows one year.
Is that right? Oh gosh, I didn't see.
And I have it because my sister wanted us to have one of those photos by the ocean where we all wear blue and white. And
Perfect.
I said,
perfect family look.
Look how beach adjacent we all are. But I threatened that I would show up in a hot dog suit. So I bought one for myself and one for my husband. And we did the blue and white shot, but we also did some hot dog shots.
Oh, that's perfect.
So now we have 2 of them.
Yeah.
And we use it basically to threaten Julia that we're going to mortify her extra.
Perfect. Drive her insane.
If you ever want to borrow it,
I'll let you know.
Just let folks know. If anyone needs 2 hot dog suits, I'm your girl.
Perfect. So you are going to be performing at Sandwich Town Hall, March 18th.
I am.
Yahoo! Yeah. It's really fun. Well, first of all, it's fun that the town has moved out of it, although it will always be the town hall. It will always be the town hall. It isn't the old town hall. It's the seat. It has always been the seat of government since 18 something, and it will continue to be that. However, they've opened it up because they've moved to new offices on 6A. They've opened it up, and it's so wonderful to be able to use that stage. And actually, the Preservation Trust is doing some things to the stage. They're adding legs so we can have a little backstage.
Oh, wow.
We're adding lights. We're adding a scrim so we can do projections and a short throw projector. Yeah, so it can be used for a lot of things. It's a small stage. It's an antique stage. It doesn't have any rake to it, which is the whatever they call that.
Better sight line.
Yeah. However, it is what it is, and it's here in town, and we can use it.
Have you been to any of the other community theaters?
Well, they're not all so hot.
They're
no.
not.
Yeah.
A lot of them are little teeny antique stages. So.
Yeah.
This is beautiful, though. It's a beautiful soaring space. It's
it
cozy.
is.
The historicity of the building. It's exciting to be in it. To see a show there.
Yeah. So we're going to see you there.
Cool. What kind of language can I use in this show?
As I always like to say, there are just certain words you shouldn't say and others you can't. I did love letters there. And that was...
So you've already dropped the F-bomb in the space.
That's correct.
Okay.
And I've also, not over and over, however, and it was also racist because love letters is about racism. It's about, it's about a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant young woman with a drinking problem who's jealous that her best friend from when she was a little child was dating a Japanese woman, an Asian woman, and she calls her a Jap. I hear you've got a little Jap. Ooh. Well, but you got to go to the time period. It was world, and I'm going to say right now, I'm a firm believer that if you don't look at the past and understand the past, you'll never get to the future.
I agree, but I think the effort to contextualize these old chestnuts becomes onerous. And
well, it does.
So haul them along, but basically the whole opus, the whole canon of American theater is pretty rotten.
Yeah, it's filled with it.
So we need to make space for
new stuff.
And
I agree.
Stuff. I agree. Because it's, I don't know. I look at Carousel. Oh my gosh, the most beautiful music ever written for the for the
You'll never walk
Broadway
alone.
stage. But what a hot mess.
I know.
Apart from it just being all white people, it's about violence.
It's about violence.
It's about a guy who beats his wife.
Right.
So you can contextualize it, you can explain to the audience, you can tell them over and over again about how this is what it was like in 1912. But that's okay if I'm understanding it. But what about my 14-year-old daughter? I can't. And my acid test has always been 7 brides for 7 brothers. Oh. How do I explain that to my kid?
Yeah.
Love the music, love the dancing, but it's a show that basically, in a Broadway way, glorifies rape. So
yeah.
Don't get me started. Just come and see my show, and I'll tell you more. I'll make you laugh. Don't worry about it.
I don't disagree with you. However, again, I'm just going to go back to the thing. I think sometimes you have to take things in the context, as you said, contextualize whence it came, so you know how to move forward.
Well, we can take some of that, but I think a whole mess of it can just be retired.
Well, and I think you're right there too. I do. I think you're right there too. It was funny because you and I were both in Annie Get Your Gun 100 years ago. Well, and you talk about that, right?
Yeah.
But I went to see it on Broadway, and they had changed it all. They changed it so that the Native Americans were not portrayed as dumb and stupid Indian people. They were portrayed less so, I guess. I don't know what other word to use, but
still a problem.
Yeah. Well, it was, but once again, cowboys and Indians. That's what it was about.
So let's make that a relic and park that in the past and move on to something, something healthier.
And there's so much out there. Although some of it, a lot of it's sad. You know, I've got a grandkid down in New York auditioning, and you know, most of the parts they're sad parts.
Sad?
Yeah.
Is that what, like, mean heavy? Heavy drama?
Yeah, well, drama, and even the musicals. I mean, Dear Evan Hansen, come on, that's a pretty heavy musical. Yeah. You know, Curious Incident of the Dog, another heavy play.
Beautiful play, though.
Beautiful.
But that's kind of amazing, though. I mean, that you can do a show about teen angst, about autism,
beating up your kid, because that's what the father does. So
humiliates him.
Yeah, but that goes on too.
It does.
So,
but it turns into wonderful theater.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're hopefully pushing the needle forward. There's still so much work to do. And Sandwich to have theater. Oh, charming little colonial Sandwich. Yeah, Sandwich needs it needs its own theater company for sure. But what an opportunity to make a statement.
Well, we're doing storytelling in a couple of weeks, and then we're doing and we're doing an original play, which is about two scientists who have a disabled daughter, who the daughter is disabled, that will be on stage, the actress. And it's a little bit over my head. The guy who wrote it is a engineer of some sort that I don't understand. And Gary Vacan is the writer, and he's a wonderful writer. However, it's about dreams and what's reality and what isn't reality, and AI and
VR. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna get an Oculus.
Yeah. Oh, you are?
I want to. Those goggles.
Goggles. Yeah.
They're starting to use them as therapy. They call it nostalgia therapy in nursing homes. And
is that right?
It's very It's healthy. When you talk to someone, and a much older person, about where did you grow up and what music did you listen to, put on some VR goggles and take them right back to the house through Google Street View. Take them back to the home they grew up in. Oh my gosh.
I think it's creepy.
I think that's the best use ever of technology.
Really?
Yeah. If you're stuck in a nursing home and you're physically incapacitated.
Well, if you're stuck in a nursing home,
put on these VR goggles and take a trip down memory lane.
I was recently at the hospital with somebody who was sick, and she was in the emergency room. But how they treat people, and I don't blame the staff. I seriously don't blame the staff, because they're overworked. There's not enough beds. There's all kinds of reasons, right? But it was how the doctors talked to her, because she's my age, certainly is not elderly. I don't consider myself elderly, and yet they talked down to her, and I couldn't understand that. So maybe you're right. Maybe we should have all the doctors wear them.
Yeah, I don't know. My mother's 87, and I learned once she hit 80, the way that she was treated, it was almost like before she was 80, she was like considered still more viable and worthy of some great intervention.
She's not relevant.
After 80, it's like, let's not intervene too much, or let's just stay the course. We don't want to rock the boat too much. People need advocates in this way.
Oh, I agree with you. I seriously agree with you.
Having been through experienced the medical complex as a young person, as a young woman especially, where they don't take your concerns very seriously. Yeah. So it's been an interesting trip. Sort of informed some of my rage.
But you can't have rage all the time.
Not all the time, but it's I always joke that my engine is rage and anxiety. Sort of twin engines motoring me through the day.
But why in the world would you have anxiety? High anxiety.
Because just being a thinking human in the world, trying not to screw it up, trying not to
think about what's going on in the
trying
world.
to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. Yeah, that's a kind of a big mandate. Yeah, and it was easier if you were in a job, as I was, that here's the nice package for the kind of the kind of work that I want to do. I can improve the world through this job.
Right, because
through
you
this
were
platform.
you were teaching,
I was director of education and creating programming that can help folks.
Right.
Now it's very, very personal in a different way.
Yeah, that's true.
And more exciting.
That's true. Mm-hmm. It's funny because Joe is a teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a popular one at the center.
Yeah. I have to laugh though, as he teaches. He said to me, "Do you think I'll be able to teach when I'm 80?" He's 75. Oh my God, he's going to kill me that I said his age. And he doesn't look 75 at all. It doesn't even have hardly any gray hair. He's disgusting. Mm-hmm. Do you think I'll be out? And I said, well, yeah. And he goes, well, who's going to take the course? And I said, well, the good news is they're all going to be younger than you this go around.
Oh, he'll always be able to teach. He's charming and funny.
Yeah. So,
they love him.
Yeah. Oh, no, they all do. Mm-hmm. I call him, they're all women usually. So I call him his harem. He's going to be with his harem. And he's got classes scheduled starting up soon. So which is good. It's a good thing. Good for him, for sure. So you're doing a show March 18th, 7 o'clock. $20.
Badass Cancer Bitch. The title this year?
Bite Me.
Bite Me. And I don't have the bag here, but that's because...
I know, the big bag.
My niece gave me a beautiful LL Bean tote.
You show it on your podcast.
I do, but I unwrapped it, and one side it said beloved, which is a word that I adore, and I often hammer into bracelets. And I picked it up and I hugged it, and my niece and I had a moment, and then she said, turn it over, Aunt Chris. And I turned it over, and on the other side it said, bite me. So I use it at home. So it's up on the bench in the kitchen. And if I'm having a great day, it's beloved. If I'm mad at my family, I turn it around.
so when
bite me.
So when Julia comes in, or
you didn't make your bed, or you left your thermos in the sink, or there were coffee rings on the counter, Michael. Bite me. That's I'm not passive aggressive.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No. So you're going to do that, and then do you have any other speaking?
I'll be Badass Cancer Bitch Bite Me. I'm hoping I'll be at my regular venues later this year.
Yeah.
Wealthy Preservation Hall, Cultural Center, Cape Cod Theater Company.
Oh, nice.
Maybe some others. I'm collaborating with Joanne Powers on a 2-woman show.
Who's doing a show?
Miss Delta Township.
Miss Delta Township.
Yep.
I can't wait.
So we're working on a 2-woman something conversation. Nice. We still have to come up with a title.
Cool.
So far we've come up with We're Not Stupid. We'll see. I don't know. The theme for the year, Bite Me. We're not stupid. I don't know. I'm not angry much.
Aggressive. I don't know.
I had a lot of working titles like, Badass Cancer Bitch, moving on. Badass Cancer Bitch, what's next? It all sounded pretty soft.
Yeah.
So Bite Me feels right. Also, there's a good story in my family about biting. When I fell in love with Michael at that Christmas caroling party, we were saying goodbye. I bit his shoulder on impulse. Don't ask me why, but I bit him hard, and he moved in 6 months later. So there's a biting theme.
I remember when I first saw Michael, I said to you, he was the Hubba Hubba Man. That's what I called him. We all called him that, Hubba Hubba Man.
We were doing some reading at the Grange.
Yes, it was. I was in it. It was with Linnell, and it was
Linnell directed it.
It was poems. And
it was a Spoon River
anthology.
But I remember getting off the stage. I think it was like a dress rehearsal, but I heard you were sitting in the house.
Yes.
And as Michael and I walked by, I heard you say, Hubba Hubba.
He's a Hubba Hubba Man.
I said, Michael, this is Melinda.
By the way, she always says Hubba Hubba. She doesn't know how to talk. So anyway,
he's a handsome devil.
Yeah, he is. He is handsome, and a nice guy too.
Yeah,
very nice guy.
He's a very nice guy.
Yeah. So, so you're doing that, and you'll do your regular gigs, and you're doing your Spoon and Hammer, Hammer and Spoon.
Spoon and Hammer studio. That's on my studio's across the yard here in the basement of my husband's sculpture studio.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's a sculptor. I forgot.
Yep. He's retired, but he's working part-time at the center and
sculpting here. How much culture can you get in your life?
Oh, I can shoehorn in some more. I don't know. We're a creative family. So.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. My dream was for all of us to be singers together, like the Von Trapps, but
didn't happen.
Julia loves to sing, but she hates when we sing together. She has to go put on headphones. So we're going to hear her sing for the very first time at her recital on Sunday.
Where's she take?
she takes from Becca Mann at Score Music.
Oh, sure.
Yep. And there's a recital on Sunday, and that will be the first time.
Where are they doing the recital?
At
the studio?
No, at the church at Old Exit 5.
Oh, nice.
West Barnstable.
Oh, yeah, the big white church. Yep. Yeah, nice.
And we'll hear her sing literally for the first time since she was like a little kid.
Wow.
Solo.
Yeah. Do you know what she's singing?
Nope.
She won't tell
some
you.
Pop tune or other. I don't care.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter.
I'm just going to bawl my eyes out.
I know, you will.
Because Michael and I are good singers, and Marnie's a beautiful singer, so she has to have a beautiful voice, but...
Well, not necessarily. Sometimes the gene gets missed.
That would be funny, wouldn't it? If she's terrible on Sunday?
I'm sure she won't be. But, just couch your expectations.
I'll be crying nonetheless. We'll see. I have high hopes.
Sure, of course you do. Yeah. Well, and your other daughter, Marnie's so successful too. She has a beautiful voice too, as I remember.
She does.
So, we have you coming up, you doing this, and now tell me the podcast. Where are we going to take it? Are we going to have it on Sandwich Community Television, maybe?
I talked to Paula a little bit about it. I think so. I don't know if I'm going to record it there or just send...
Probably just send it, I bet you.
Send it here, because I love recording in the cottage. I love the space.
This is definitely the right space.
It's in my little cozy space. I got one of those, I got a mic on a boom for Christmas and some a ring light, but I do just fine with my Mac. Yeah. We'll see. I may actually improve technically, but
I think it looks great though.
I think so too.
I mean, I watch it every Sunday.
I have to get the right reading glasses. I've been wearing horrible. Oh, did you notice they're on the lanyard now?
Yes. No, I didn't want to say anything.
This is a concession. And imagine me walking in to have dinner with my mother, who lives 2 doors away, and she's wearing jeans and clogs and a black turtleneck and a fleece vest.
Yeah.
And her glasses and a lanyard.
And you walk in with your jeans, your turtleneck.
In the same outfit. Yes. Yeah, this happens a lot. It could be.
Sometimes you can become your mother.
Hi. No, it's fine. It's fine.
That's funny.
She's a monument. Yeah.
Well, she is at 87. God love her.
Yeah, she is. She's volunteering at the pantry today.
Oh, good for her.
Yep,
good for her.
Yeah, she's busy.
And that's what. Does she still drive?
Yes. Oh, too fast.
Oh my.
A gray CRV. In Forestdale. Yeah, give her a wide berth.
That's the only thing we keep thinking about is Joe just bought his car and he'd been leasing it. And it's a brand new car, basically. Mm-hmm. And with COVID, it has like 10,000 miles on it. So he said, instead of giving it back this time and getting a new lease car, I'm going to buy it. So he bought it. But he laughed. He said, oh, my God. He goes, I can be 95 before I'll even have close to 100,000 miles on it. Oh, there's the good news. Okay, but that's until Tess comes and takes away his license.
On a road trip, maybe, before he's 95 and put some miles on that car. You must have somewhere to go.
Yes. Well, we are. We're taking the Midwest tour that was supposed to happen when COVID hit.
To Ohio?
No, we're taking, it's most of the middle of the eastern Midwest. We're going to Michigan.
Wait, the middle of the eastern Midwest?
Well, see, there's the Midwest where there's Iowa.
Like Pennsylvania?
There's Iowa.
Yeah.
And there's Iowa and there's Illinois. That's Midwest, right?
Okay. All right.
But we're from the eastern part of that. So that's Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan.
Okay.
So we are actually going to go through Canada and do a lot of things up in Michigan, visit some people we know, and then also, I have never seen the sand dunes of Lake Michigan, which I understand we have sand dunes here, which my husband points out to me all the time when we go to Providence. There are sand dunes. Let's look at those sand dunes. Why? But I've never been there. I've never been to Lake Michigan. I grew up in Ohio. I never went to Lake Michigan. I went to Lake Erie, but so
Is Lake Michigan near Ohio?
It's right above it.
Oh.
Yes, it's a mitten.
Yeah.
You know the mitten?
Mitten.
The mitten.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes. All right. And Joe was stationed there when he was in National Guard.
Okay.
Yippee. Anyway, the long and the short of it is we're going to take the Midwest tour, and then we're going to drop down to Ohio and visit. He has brothers and such. I don't have anybody there anymore. So, well, I have some nieces, but that's about it. So that'll be good. So that's our big trip this year. somebody said, well, are you going on a river cruise? Yeah.
I'm going to be
Yeah,
trapped in
I'm
the car
going to
with my
Ohio.
husband for and you're taking his car.
No, we're taking my car because he doesn't put the miles on it.
Maybe is his
we
goal
could do a whole hour on that.
On Joe and
on Joe
his
and
low mileage cars. Okay.
All kinds of little idiosyncrasies, as I like to call them.
Okay.
But I understand, and so we're going to take my car, which, by the way, he hates because I have a small Mazda, and it's not a Miata. God, I wish it was, but it's not. And he has a hard time fitting into the passenger side because it's just
What are you two thinking?
Huh?
What do you take Joe's car?
Well, I know.
Joe, if you're watching this, you should take his car. Take your car.
He won't. No, he doesn't want to put all those miles on it. Okay. Wasted miles.
Rent a luxury vehicle that you're both happy with.
Oh, we've done that before. We went across country in Mustang convertible. We did. It was a black Mustang convertible with Jersey tags. Oh man, did we get yelled? I mean, we got hooted at, hollered at, waved at, kissed.
I was imagining like an RV.
Oh God, no. We rented an RV once. Never again.
Okay.
No, too much work.
All right.
I'm not a camper.
Mm-hmm. No.
I mean, Holiday Inn is camping to me, so so that's about as
hothouse flower. Okay.
I've never thought
you
of
grew up
myself
riding
there.
horses. How can you not be a
But I'm not a
person?
camper.
Okay.
No, because I rode the horses and I put them away, and then I went into my house. I didn't go into a camper.
Did you have your own bathroom growing up?
No. Oh no! I lived in a big brick farmhouse, and we had.
You seem like someone who would have her own bathroom growing up.
I would have liked to.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This might be too much information for my constituents that are watching, my audience that watches at 2:00 in the morning because they can't sleep. Mm-hmm. However, no, I did not. I grew up in a big house, though. Mm-hmm. Big. I mean, it's an impressive home. Mm-hmm. And it looked like it should have, but it didn't. Had a library, lots of stuff.
Oh, okay.
But it was built in 1840, so.
Mm-hmm. You had an outhouse out back.
You had an outhouse. No, we had indoor plumbing, but yeah. So, anyway. So, I want to go back to your podcast again. So, what have you done podcasts on so far?
Well, it all sounds kind of heavy because I've talked about death a couple of times. I talked about violence.
Yeah.
I talked
that does sound heavy.
About a thrift shop.
I thought the thrift shop one was good.
So my what I try to do with my writing, when I write it, I try to explain stuff to myself. I try to take hard information and make it accessible to my pea brain, but also to make it funny. I think I'm pretty good at taking heavy stuff and finding humor, which was and I started writing because I had cancer 22 years ago,
right?
As a way of explaining what was happening to myself, right. And I realized when I came out the other end, I had this whole journal, and I thought maybe this could help someone else. So I developed it into a spoken word, a play,
right.
a theater piece that Marnie and I performed almost 50 times all over. So it sort of established my writing practice. So everything I write is true. It's all autobiographical. Mm-hmm.
Have you worked in 36?
36 Biscotti? I have not yet though, but that will be a new piece in Bite Me this year. It's called the Biscotti Index, which is a measure of nonprofit. How you're thought of. How you're thought of in a nonprofit institution. Yeah. So it's either 36 Biscotti or nonprofit Chardonnay, which are pretty much interchangeable.
I was going to say, right?
Yeah.
It could be. It could be.
There's so much so many places we can go. So my podcasts have been pieces from shows that I have done in the past many years. This year will be the 12th Fat Ass Cancer Bitch one woman show. But I'm always writing and speaking. So I speak for You for Fuel every year.
Right.
So my Christmas work, my holiday work, I have a whole holiday show that I might do this year as well.
Oh, nice.
So
Excellent.
there's always, but also sometimes I'm just writing not toward performing, just toward like this is
release.
so effed up. I have to put it on paper and talk about it. So.
Yeah. Will you tell us how you got the name? I know you've told it a million times.
It's such a good story. I had cancer 22 years ago.
How many years ago?
22. And not long after I got better, a neighbor got mad at me. And this neighbor,
I can't imagine.
This neighbor had a Great Dane who pooped in my yard, and I had ruined many pairs of running shoes. And I would scoop up these poops with a snow shovel and walk to my neighbor's house and dump them in the driveway where I felt they belonged. And one day she was waiting for me, and she got really close to my face, and she said, "You fat ass cancer bitch." And it was a time in my life. It was a time in my life.
She just had cancer.
Well, I had cancer 5 years before.
Oh, okay.
And people were still 5 years out. People were still calling me a survivor. Like, oh,
well, they're calling you a survivor.
Champ?
They're still calling you a survivor today. I'm
how's
sure.
How's it going? Yeah. Like, how you doing?
And that really irritates you, doesn't it?
It pissed me off because it made me feel wounded. It made me feel less than. And to understand that people only related to me as a survivor, as someone who had cancer, and that was like the major descriptor when they thought of me. So Fat Ass Cancer Bitch was a lot better than survivor.
Yeah.
It was funny. It's kind of an icebreaker. It's the best brand
and you guys
ever.
Well,
I wrote a piece about being called the Fat Ass Cancer Bitch. It got published by a little teeny press out on the West Coast. One of the 8 people who bought a copy of that literary magazine knew my neighbor.
No. You didn't use names, did you?
I may have.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, she came and she apologized.
Wow.
And she said that was the worst thing I ever said to anyone in my whole life. You don't have a fat ass.
But you are a bitch.
That's okay. I own the cancer bitch. Also, I was born in July, so she could have been talking about my astrological sign.
That's true.
But I took Fat Ass Cancer Bitch. I turned it into FACB. I had a bunch of magnets and some bumper stickers made up. My parents were once driving to my sister's in DC and saw a Fat Ass Cancer Bitch bumper sticker on a car in Jersey.
No way.
Which was like, I have arrived.
You're on a car in New Jersey.
So I don't know. I feel very fortunate.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm very grateful. And the woman who called me a Fat Ass Cancer Bitch is now my friend. She's also vegan and has turned me into a vegetarian.
Oh my gosh!
I'm a hopeful vegan.
A hopeful
vegan.
Why?
Just because I love cheese.
Oh.
And I love eggs.
Mm.
And sometimes I eat fish. All the time I eat fish.
See, I grew up on a farm. We ate our pets.
That's how it started. We have a feral cat on our deck. You didn't eat your pets. Oh, Melinda. Oh gosh. We have a feral cat on our deck.
Don't name animals.
I never had pets, and then this feral cat arrived, and we started feeding her, and then now she has like this heated condo on our deck.
Does she stay in it?
She does. She's been with us 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
But once you fall in love with an animal, it changes everything. Like I grew up without pets, so I was
not even a dog or.
Oh, my mother, no.
But we had farm cats. I mean, we had 20 cats that were. I mean, they were outside cats, not inside cats. No.
Oh.
No. We didn't eat the cats or the horses. We ate the chickens.
Lucky for the cats and the horses.
Or the dog.
Oh.
Yeah. No, just the cows, the chickens, and the pigs. We didn't have Babe. Babe wasn't one of our pigs. So. I don't eat veal because of that, though. Because we
baby cows.
Yeah.
It's for me. It's partly climate. It's partly
That's
virtuous.
True. Listen, we drove across country and went through the market basket for America in California, middle of California, Fresno area, all that area down through there. It's the bread basket for America. And all those feedlots, and you could smell them. I mean, I grew up with that smell, but you could smell them 10 miles away.
We got to fix that.
You know, And when people say that doesn't have anything to do, that's not true. It's not true. I know that as a farm girl. I know that's not true. The methane gas and all of that. It is true. So yeah, you're right. Although I am a meat eater and I will continue to be.
Have you had an Impossible Burger?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
That was a game changer. I'm waiting for the fake chicken now. It's exciting.
Will it cluck?
I don't care.
But it might cluck. Wouldn't it be fun if they had a packaging that clucked?
Plant-based alternatives are just awesome.
Some of them are. Yeah, I'm not a big tofu person though.
You don't eat.
But Ben, my son Ben, the chef, makes wonderful tofu. So, and I've had his. It's for me. It's tolerable. I just don't care for it. So,
our family's a little. We're experts at plant-based.
Yeah. Well, that's why you all look so healthy and so good.
Healthy. They do. I remain a phone booth.
A phone booth?
I have the phone booth gene.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. My grandmother was 5'11".
Yeah. Well, you are tall, so.
I'm only 5'8". I'm not even 5'8" because Julia's taller than 5. Oh, don't even get me started. I have managed to shrink. I've been 5'8". I thought my whole life.
It happens.
I'm actually 5'7" and change, but no, I have the women in my family. I'm sorry, Mama. Mama, you're not a phone booth. But you know the danger. Her mother was a phone booth. I see it I see my future very clearly. So plant-based, no booze. I am on it.
Yeah.
But I've also come to terms with my body. I also write about that a lot.
Yeah.
Body image, having grown up hating my body and being at war with my body. I had to get cancer to really understand that.
I think a lot of women are.
Oh.
And wait till you listen, at my age, I'm telling you right now, not only you become invisible.
Oh, I'm already invisible. I love that.
You're invisible and you become irrelevant. And I had somebody send me a note the other day, text me, which I hate, but they texted me and they said, what are you doing, whatever. And I said, I'm sitting around feeling sorry for myself because I'm irrelevant. And they wrote back, oh, well, you're not irrelevant. Just think. And I went, just think what? I'm not solving the world's problems. I'm not, sometimes. But I think I think a lot of women feel the way I do.
Yeah, but you can't be a prophet. You just gotta work. I try to work on the 1 mile radius from my home. And I'm not, that's not even a joke.
Oh,
Because like, I don't know. It's so easy to become numb from the daily news and from what's happening in the world. You stop watching it and you become numb, and then you create a little bubble around yourself, and you
right. We already are in a bubble in Massachusetts.
We're already in a bubble. So the bubble in the bubble, but that's dangerous. So
yeah,
and the thought that I can't make a huge difference, so I'm not even going to bother. That's why people don't vote. That's why people don't activate, or why they don't run for office. But I'm not saying that you're feeling irrelevant is
I don't feel that kind of irrelevant.
No, but I guess what I'm saying is that you have to understand your influence within what is doable. Yeah. So if you can't be a prophet, or you can't be a movie star, or you can't be a giant successful influencer, you can still do such good in your community.
But when you look at when women, even if they're not even if, but women who are in a book club. Well, no.
Be careful. No.
I think that you can make a difference in places like that as well. By speaking the truth about whatever's going on in the world, or whatever is impacting, or whatever the book is about, and how that bring it into your own life. I think you can impact people.
You got to tell your story.
You have to tell your story. That's it. Telling the story.
Oh, did you just lead me there? Did you just set me up for that?
That's all about. It's all about telling the story.
I know, but I always say the story will save us all. Yeah. And that we suffer because we don't share the story.
Well, my dad used to say, God bless him, my dad used to say, everybody's got a story. So when you saw somebody and you had a certain opinion about them, remember, they got a story too.
Well, everyone's walking an uphill.
Yeah. So journey. It's not, and doesn't mean that you have to ignore what they've done or what they've said or whatever, but
sometimes it does. Yeah.
You need to take that into consideration, I guess. So, well, I love sitting in this little wonderful cozy place. It's wonderful. It's charming. And now we brought all of Sandwich
into my 8x10.
My audience in Sandwich at 2 a.m. No.
It's a glorified garden shed. But,
well, it's wonderful. Yeah. It's terrific. I'm jealous. I'm seriously. I wanted to have one for Joe so he would go out there.
You can have one. Just call Pine Harbor.
I know. Yep. I know, and they do a great job.
They built it in an afternoon.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And they balance it and all that stuff, right? Cool.
Yeah. Paid extra for an extra window and
nice.
Stand to your door.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Well, it's great, and it's filled with you.
You saved my butt. Yes, it is.
It's filled with you, and that's what's so good about it, right?
I'm very lucky.
Yeah. Not lucky, smart.
Both.
I don't think luck is involved.
Oh, yeah, there's some luck.
Yeah, but you make your choices.
That's luck.
You made good choices when you're sick.
Oh, you know that I made some horrible choices.
Well, we all make bad choices. We all make bad choices.
I've known you for 30 how many years? Yeah.
30 some years, yeah.
Yeah, you were there for some of those.
Yeah.
Although
I used to babysit Marnie.
Oh.
I know. She used to when she was a little girl, she was so cute.
Julia asked me if I could have a superpower, what would it be? And I said instantly, I'd go back to your babyhoods.
Yeah.
Go back to when you were tiny.
Yeah. We don't have babies in our family now. They're all grown up.
I want a damn grandchild.
Well, mine are all grown up. They're growing up. So the youngest is 16. Mm. The only thing I have to do is go stay with him when their parents leave the town so he doesn't have a party. Mm. Of course, I think he thinks that he can get away with it around me. But little does he know that I am pretty sly.
You coming through the door with like a roll of cookie dough and a Scrabble game. I'm here. No, I'll make it something more exciting, than a deck of cards. Twister with Grammy.
Yeah. Twister with Grammy. That'd be good. I can't get on the floor. So anyway, thank you, ma'am, for inviting me in, and we will look forward to hopefully seeing your podcast.
Yeah. Every Sunday. It's on Facebook. I'm also on YouTube. Christine Ernst, FACB.
Excellent.
On YouTube, you can follow me there, and I have to figure out TikTok and Insta and all that other social media stuff, which I know is aging me, but working on it.
You may not be able to do TikTok much longer because it may be banned from the United States.
Oh, seriously?
Because the Chinese are trying to find all our information. I don't know. I don't understand. Just what I've heard on the news. Okay. I don't get it, actually, but who would care about me? In truth, does China, their government, really care what I'm doing in Sandwich, Massachusetts?
They might.
I don't think so. I don't think the Russians do either. Mm-hmm. Now, the Iranians, they might.
Maybe. Interesting.
But because I am kind of pro-women. We live in Sandwich.
That too.
I know.
That's the thing. Like when I was a kid, I wanted to live in Paris. And
I know.
I
we live in
Sandwich.
Hey, this is a step up. I'm from Delaware, Ohio.
No, but just the fact that our town is named Sandwich.
I know. We have Sandwich Police, which is all over the internet. It's a big joke.
Like in order to live in Sandwich, you have to forget that that's the name of the town. Sandwich.
Sandwich.
Where do you live?
Sandwich. It is funny. There's comedy everywhere.
It's so absurd.
It is absurd. It is. Mm-hmm. Well, at least we can pronounce it right, so that's the good news. Sandwich. Sandwich. Yeah, that's true. All right, kiddo. Good to see you. Thank you.
I'll see you soon.
All right, bye. Wow, Christine Ernst. She is fabulous and so much fun to talk to. I hope you got just a peek of her personality and all the things she does. She's a real entrepreneur now, and she's writing and she's doing terrific things. And she's going to have a show in Sandwich on March 18th. I hope you'll come to see it. So in any case, I'm just glad you joined me today, and I'll see you next time on another Cape Conversation.